Hello you guys, welcome to Meg's house, and today's video is about nursing. Nursing school. So typically my videos are about hair and makeup, but like on Instagram or just social media platforms, like I get the most questions about between hair and makeup and nursing. So someone sent me a DM asking about obstacles I faced while in nursing school, and I don't know how. Like, I was at work and moving around, and somehow the message got like deleted, so I never had a chance to respond. But since I get such similar questions like all the time, I figured I'll make a video about it. So but before I get into those obstacles, I want to remind you guys to tap on that subscribe button so you can see more videos like this, along with some of my hair and makeup videos. Because yes, so right now this is a silk press that I had braided and took down. It's just doing its own thing, and I'm at home. Like, I'm in my, y'all see my donut? They're so cute. I got them from forever. I was so forever 21. I call it forever. But anyway, so subscribe to this channel. And make sure you like this video, share it with a friend, especially share it with those who is in nursing school right now or planning to go to nursing school. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below, and on to the video. One of the first things that I encountered just going into the program, so let me back up. So I went to LSU Health Science Center here in New Orleans. I had my bachelor's in nursing, and when I say that was the most challenging program and just even situation I've ever, well, outside of pregnancy, that I've ever been in my entire life. So I did the traditional route, which was a 3-year program. Mind you, you had to have your prereqs done. And so prior to nursing school, I went to UNO and I graduated as an English major with a concentration in professional writing and a minor in fine arts and yada yada. So from there, like, my goal was to get into more mass communications and marketing and this and that. But certain life changes got me going to nursing. That'll be like another video, another story at another time. So anyway, once I actually did get into the program, when I tell you it was like information overload, that was my first like obstacle, because I didn't grow up with people like in the healthcare field that was around me. Like, I have people in my family that was in healthcare, but like they didn't live where I lived, or we weren't communicating or talking like on that note. Like, I saw them for a family function or something, but nonetheless, I didn't have anybody around me really talking like medical terminology. I don't have really any health issues. So like, most of my visits have been like, well, checkup visits and stuff. And even with my son, like, I just didn't know about healthcare really, and I didn't really have my own personal experiences or people next to me with their personal experiences. So anyway, so everything was like just brand new. It was totally new. And it was a lot, because when I tell you, them slideshows and PowerPoint presentations was like super long. Like, I'm talking about 100 slides or something, and that might be just one section on your test, and your test might be 5 sections, you know. So you just studying like hundreds of slides, just hundreds of pages of information. Because yeah, that was the thing, like, I really had to revamp how I studied and what I did. So and even like the language of it, like to this day, especially like with a lot of medication names, there's a generic name and a trade name, and it just gets like super complicated. But now being out and even going through the program, the more you do it, the more you practice it, the better you'll get. And especially like getting into like some type of routine that works, that really helped me out a lot. So again, so my first challenge was information overload, but again, it's just I had to get it. I had to roll with the punches, as they say. My next struggle, like I said previously, was that I had to revamp my study habits. So before, I used to wait to the last minute, or if I had a paper to write, I could knock that out in one night. Boom, you got it. You know, I might have a typo or two, but you got the message. You got the overall point, and guess what? I still got an A. So, like, even in high school, like, I mean, I might have studied and stuff, but it was like a lot of last minute studying, or cramming, as they say. When I got to nursing school, that was out the window. That was really like, I never read a book before class. Then after class, I never recorded lessons. I don't know if you technically supposed to do that. You gotta check with school. But anyway, yeah, I would have to record the teacher's teaching so I can go listen to it again, along with read the book again, make my own notes. Also, like, trying to get with other people, look at their notes, put our notes together, and all of that. It was just, it was something that, whew. Like, and it's funny because, like, when I talk to other nurses now, we all say it was a blur. Because it's like, when you try and go back in your memory to that time, it's just, whew, it's like being in shock. But anyway, so, what's some things that I had to do? Like, definitely using a planner. I had to write down, like, okay, gonna study this at this time, or on this day I'm gonna go to the coffee shop on this day. Especially having a child, my son was like a little baby back then. I really had to find babysitters so that I could study, and it wouldn't be no studying for 2 hours. This would be, the coffee shop opened at 5-6 o'clock. I'm there from the time it opened. Like, I'm standing outside while they opening the door. I would be out there from the time it opened until 7, 8, 9, sometimes until closing, which may be like, they got French press and Metairie. That would be like, I think 11 or 12. I don't know, they might have changed the hours now. But anyway, so like, along with the information overload, the fact that I had to refigure out how to study and retain all this information. And the best thing that I could have done, or advice I could give to somebody else, is understand what you're reading, and also known as reading comprehension. And like, so I went to this nursing conference, and they had this nurse practitioner, this little old lady that was there, and she was talking about how she helped people pass, like, NCLEX, like people that was failing, they'll come to her. And like, so she told like this one girl, okay, here, read a magazine. And the girl's looking like, read a magazine, what? But she was like, yeah, read this magazine. So she got the girl to read the first like paragraph in the magazine, and she closed it. And she was like, okay, what did you just read? And the girl kind of was like, I don't know. So then she opened it again, made her read the first paragraph, and then she closed it and said, okay, what did you read? And the girl was able to tell her. She said, okay, when you read now, read like that. Like, when you read a paragraph, stop and say, what did I just read? And then move on from there. And to me, that made the difference. Like, the teachers always used to say, don't memorize the information. Don't memorize. And everybody used to be like, what you mean don't memorize it? Like, we have to memorize it. Like, we don't have time for this. But it makes it a lot easier to understand and actually apply if you take time to understand what you're reading. You know, understand why certain medications work in certain areas, understand the side effects of those medications, who these medications can be given to, who they can't, what they can be mixed with, that, you know, it's a whole picture. But anyway, so that really helped me, is understanding it. And then let me tell you, my best friend was the dry erase board. Yes, like, I have a big one right, y'all can't see it, but it's over there on the wall. Like, I had, between that, I have just notes that was written, lined up along the wall. I would write everything out. And like, really, because I'm a visual person, I'm a visual learner, so I write it all out. And I would be going to school 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, using my badge to get in, and go into one of those rooms, writing every single thing out. And that's what helped me. But that was my second biggest obstacle. So outside of the school side, money, money was like my third obstacle. I was pretty much broke and on the most strictest budget I've ever been on in my life. Yeah, so before going to nursing school, like I said, I went to UNO. When I got out of school, when I was at UNO, I did a few like public relations internships and whatnot. I had a lot of personal things going on when I was at UNO. Moving forward, so when I got out of school, I had a friend that was working in hospitality, and again, we're here in New Orleans, so hospitality is really big. Get comfortable. Take this dog on foot shoe off. That's the problem. So hospitality is really big out here. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just do front desk at a hotel until something pops off. And even then I'm thinking, okay, maybe by this being a big field, maybe I can move and grow here too. So I did that and saved money because I also like found out I was pregnant at the time. So I'm like, oh man, I really got to get my life together and stuff. So, because trust me, when you living for you, that's one thing. But when you living for you and to take care of somebody else, stuff get real quick. So I started saving money every paycheck. And then, like I said, I started looking for different options because where I was at in life, the opportunities that I wanted weren't like coming available as fast as I needed them to and whatnot. So I was like, well, look, let me take what I do have, some of the credits and classes I have already. Let me see where I can use that information at. So I started going around, like I was looking into speech pathology, Long story short, I saved my money. But at the time, like I think I had saved like $5,000 and I had money like from graduation. But because I stopped working. So once I went to nursing school, I quit my job because I had to strictly focus on nursing school and raising my child. Like that was pretty much all that I had time for. And so if you, like any person that's grown or been living on your own, you know $5,000, that doesn't get you that far when you paying bills. Now, not that I had extreme, like I didn't have like extreme credit card bill or anything like that, but just rent, electricity. I did not have cable. I had the little antenna box thing. I had that and I had Netflix, okay? Because that was what, $10 a month? So that was a sacrifice because like since I've grown up and lived life, I always had cable. So what was I? I was about 24, 25. And so I was a non-traditional student. I didn't go straight into nursing school as I mentioned. Yeah, I was living on a budget. You paying gas and whatnot. So anyway, once you're paying bills, ain't like groceries and paying for your car, if it's insurance, putting gas in it, that money it's not gonna go that far, you know. So it really was like doing what I could to get by, and it was like to the point where I'm like, all right, man, how I'm gonna pay for these semesters, because like TOPS, that had all got, which is a scholarship, and even the scholarships I got when I first went to school, that all went to when I was at UNO. So a lot of it was like trying to come up with situations with the financial advisors at school or financial counselors. I'm like, look, this is where I'm at. What can we do? You know, and like even on that note, like when I tell you, like God, like really, he just did things. And maybe I didn't mention it like in the other thing, obstacles. With all these obstacles, when I say I never prayed so hard in my life, baby, I was praying. I was a praying fool, okay? I feel like I went to sleep praying. I woke up praying. I prayed my tail off because it was a lot of situations that was so pushed against the wall to the point of I didn't know how I was going to come up with the money, what I was going to do, you know? So anyway, and like I feel like God always made a way. Like once I kind of got further into the program, I was able to like work a job. I like ended up working as like a CNA for a summer, and then from there, and it was like for this like a home health company, and then I moved on to getting into the nurse tech program at a local hospital. And from there, you know, I was able to start building on my skills. And even when I was doing like the CNA work, I was still building on my skills and whatnot. But that helped bring a little, it wasn't that much money, you know, it really wasn't at the time, but it kind of helped me coast along and whatnot. And then, you know, later, like somewhere in nursing school, I met my husband and then all of that. So he definitely was a big help later. But a lot of like financially, like I pretty much had to figure that out, and God made avenues for me that, like I said, to this day is still like in all thing. Like that's how for me God is real. And I know, you know, because he's done so many things in my life, like I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for God listening to my prayers. So anyway, I was broken on a budget and that was a struggle. Next, the biggest obstacle was family and friends. And I feel like when I think about this is the one that's a little touchy. And like, so when I was thinking about making this video, I was like, I kept trying not to, I don't know, be emotional about this side of things. But the reason why family and friends was an obstacle for me was because, look, my voice starting to shake already. I felt like people didn't understand nursing school. They didn't understand the time that was needed. And the dedication that was needed. So I would have like a lot of family members, you know, like, why can't you come here and why can't you do this? But time and money, that was why, you know. And it's like, I was so stressed out in nursing school, I don't even have time to be explaining to you why I can't do A, B, C, and D, you know. So it was just really difficult. Like, for example, like I remember one Mardi Gras, which like that's like really big here in New Orleans. Like, you know, I told a family member that, oh yeah, I thought I was gonna be able to like go out to like a few parades at least. But then as I was studying, like, and I'm just kind of like reanalyzing, okay, how much do I have to get done? When is the due date? Do I have time for this? And it's like, you know, I came to the conclusion of no, I didn't have time for it. So I had to tell a family member, like, if you want to take my son, you can. But as far as me, I won't be able to go. And it was like the biggest argument in the world. And, you know, it really, like, sometimes some people really made me feel bad about what I had to do, you know. And now looking back, like, some of the people, now my family, they still in my corner. Some of the friends, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes, you know, people in your life for a season or in your life for a reason, you know. But a lot of those family members now, like, they see, okay, it was worth it. I see, you know, what Megan had to do, and they respect it now. But at the time, it definitely was it was a struggle. It was something really hard to get through, you know, because sometimes I felt like I was alone, like people didn't understand, you know. And a lot of things, like, so I took a lot, well, not a lot, I took some trips while I was in nursing school. And it was more kind of, not required, but I was still trying with family and friends. Like, one of my best friends got married, and I was the maid of honor. Well, I had to go and be in that wedding. And I'm still on a budget, you know. So that was a lot of money just to get out there. And that friend definitely did appreciate it and whatever. But I'm just saying, like, it was definitely a struggle. And, you know, so, like, when we went for the wedding, I stayed in the room and I studied. When we was on that plane ride, or even if I was doing hair and makeup, baby, they was calling information out to me while I was applying eyeliner, okay? Like, it was really, you know, it was kind of a sad moment in life. So, and even like took my son to Disney World or whatever. And I didn't pay for it. My family paid for it. I stayed in the room most of the time while they went out and whatnot. So it just was a lot of, like, and that was my way of trying to be there, but it was pushing it. It was pushing it a lot. But it was definitely, it was hard. So anyway, and like on the friend side, like I feel like, you know, friends may have kind of felt like, oh, you don't have time for, you know, me now, or you know, you make time for what you want to make time for and whatnot. And some stuff, like, to be honest, how I feel like either you with me or you not. You know, if you my friend and you a real friend to me, then you're gonna respect and support what I'm going through, and vice versa. I may not be able to talk to you every day, or, you know, our relationship might be changed. I might have talked to you more often, or I might have been, you know, more available before, and I'm not now. But it is what it is. Like, and I don't know, some of it just is what it is. And again, it's like, you with me or you not. Like, the way I see it is like, I'm looking to go towards greatness. Are you with me or you not? You know, I'm there to 100% support you and what you got going on, but that has to be vice versa too. So, you know, and a lot of my friends, a lot of them still around and understand now. And then some people, like, you know, no, I don't talk to them as much anymore following that situation and whatnot. And but everybody got their own version of situations and stuff. But like, I'm not gonna lie, you think that didn't hurt me for those relationships to be changed and damaged, but I had to do what I had to do for my life. Like, to be honest, like, no, I, myself, you, anybody else, you can't live for other people. You know what I'm saying? Because when it's time to pay a bill, who pay that bill? Me. You know, when it's time to put food in my son's mouth, I have to do that. So to me, it was more about, that was my responsibility. I was setting myself up. I was making sacrifices to get myself, you know, moving as a nurse and be putting money on the table. So I had to do what I had to do. I did. I said that a lot better than what I thought, because I was like, oh, please don't cry. So anyway, so my last obstacle was, here we go. My last obstacle was, like, I felt like, I felt like I was neglecting my child. Because, like I said, you know, when you look at time, 24 hours in a day, I was studying. I woke up studying. You know, I'm trying to maintain life. You know, at some point it would be, I'm dropping my child off by this family member, by godmother, godfather, you know, so I can go study for those long time periods. Or it would be, you know, it would just be like, I felt like I wasn't there, or how, like, it wasn't that I wasn't there, but it was like I wasn't mentally available, because, like, most of the time, you know, I was so busy trying to, like, just process information. Like, you know, I knew the type of mom I guess I wanted to be, and due to my situation, I couldn't be that at the time, you know. So it's like I just had to do what I had to do, you know. At some point, I was a single mom, so I didn't have, like, that other person in the picture to be able to, I guess, provide that special love. But then, you know, everything's about perspective, because, again, like, and I thank God that I had family and friends that was able to be there times when I couldn't be, you know. If it was test day and I'm spending 2 days hard up in the books, you know. So, like, and it was so much to the point where, like, I went go see, like, some of the counselors at school, and that counselor, like, gave me the best, I guess, advice, or I don't know, whatever she wants to call it, which she was like, you know what, Megan, you have to stop looking at it like neglecting your child, and see it as you're doing what you have to do to get yourself and your child in a better position. So she was like, you may be making a sacrifice right now, but you are doing this for the advancement of yourself and your situation, you know. So you might not see it right now, it may be hard right now, but you just gotta do what you gotta do to get to where you're trying to get, you know. And once she like helped me think about it like that, I'm like, you know what, that's the truth, you know. And again, it's all about perspective and the way you look at something. So instead of me looking at it in a negative way and feeling guilty and, you know, just all these, like, you know, like feeling depressed or sad or whatever about it, like I just had to change my viewpoint and see, okay, no, I'm doing what I have to do to get where I'm trying to get, you know. And not only that, like I'm also showing my child that hustle, you know, and what it means to study. This is what studying looks like. So, you know, I was setting an example. So again, sometimes like with obstacles, it's not just an obstacle, but it's an opportunity too. So, and to this day, like my son, that boy blew me away. We was riding in a car the other day, and that boy pulled out a book, like really crossed his legs. Yeah. So he really, you still can't see. He really crossed his legs like this, pulled out a book, and was reading like a little old man, reading in the back of the car, you know. And it's like, had I maybe not been reading books and showing him that at a young age, you know, like you never know how the things that you're doing is impacting somebody else's life. But anywho, and as time went on, again, like with more time management, more practice at the situation, like it did get better. Every semester was different, but over time it did get better, and then worse sometimes. But I mean, so that was my obstacles. Anywho, Lord have mercy, I'm gonna have to go blow my nose after this. But that was the obstacles I faced while I was in nursing school. If you are in nursing school or any program right now, and say you at the point where you want to give up, or say you dealing with some of the obstacles that I mentioned in this video, number one, as I said, I like my relationship with God got the strongest as I went through that situation, you know. So I encourage you, take a moment. Maybe it's time to have a come to Jesus moment, you know. Pray about it. Number two, use your resources. You know, if you have counselors or teachers available at school, go talk to them. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed in a situation. And number three, I would say some of it is you just got to accept where you at in life, you know. It may not be perfect. It may be hard. It may suck right now, but you just got to do what you got to do to get to where you're trying to get. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Definitely give it a thumbs up. Like I said, leave a comment below. Tell me about some of the obstacles you face. If there's anything you would like me to speak on, comment below. Or I'm sure I have like a clip of this on Instagram or something. You can put a comment there. Or if you're not comfortable, you can send me a DM on Instagram. My Instagram name is MEGSHOUSE. Everything is MEGSHOUSE. So you can follow me there. And until next time.